Hey, everybody, welcome to Radio Check. It is that time, 15th,
It, it
19th.
is the 15th of September. And if you realize Mr. Enrique is dressed up with a different type of attire, and he is doing that because we are kicking off today Hispanic Heritage Month, the month of September 15th, October 15th, of all nationalities that honor the different roots of their culture of Hispanic heritage. So we're honored to have him represent. And speaking of representing, I'm wearing the Air Force shirt because on September 18th, this Saturday, is the 74th birthday of the United States Air
Woo!
Force. We separate from the, I guess we got divorced from the Army back in 1947, and we haven't
Somebody
looked
got
back.
kicked to the curb. That's what I will say.
But on a serious note, thank you folks for being here again. We do this every 1st and the 15th of every month at 1900, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Checking in. How you doing? What's going on in your world? What neck of the woods you are calling in, tuning in from? We'll love to know what questions we might answer relations to checking in on each other. As you know, this is, suicide prevention month is around here, and also Service Dog Awareness Month. So for those who are needing a dog, let us know. We have a couple resources too. Guess what? I have a service dog recently from Command K9
All
service
right.
dog. So shout out to them. But here we are, Enrique. Tell us a little bit about what do you got on and what's going on with you, bro.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm excited because on my side, we're having a party. I don't know what's going on at the Air Force side, but over on the Hispanic Heritage Month side, we got the music going. I got me a little coconut, a delight. I got me a guayabera. If you don't know what a
What?
guayabera is, hey, you're missing out. Hey, if you're down from Miami and anywhere in the Caribbean, every island has some form of guayabera on, and so just representing the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Vince is also from Puerto Rico, both raised in the Bronx. What a coinkydink, right?
And we never
But
met until
and,
here.
to here, and that's how small and large this world is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just taking advantage of the time to celebrate all Hispanics, all Latin folks that are doing great things on this earth, helping each other out. And so we celebrate you today, this whole month. Actually, hey, we don't take a day; we take a whole month. Good Lord, it's like you go to a Hispanic party, you're not going for an hour. Like it's
Mm.
probably gonna break at night. You're probably gonna be ushering the sun in or something. But it's a good. I'm happy to be and blessed to be Hispanic of Hispanic origin, rich tradition over there in the
Mm.
islands.
Oh yeah.
Three prime races there, that we have:
Taino,
Taino,
African.
African, and Spaniard. Right. So I happen to be two more of the one of those three. But yeah, so we're enjoying some good music, some good eating, and we want to find out, how are you doing out there, right? How are
Mhm.
you doing? Uh, yeah, we're taking a little break here and having some fun, but it's not always fun for everybody, right? So we just want to be conscious of that and just let you know that that's what we're here. We're here for a little motivation, if it's inspired by a celebration.
Yeah.
We're celebrating the Air Force birthday coming up this weekend. We're going to celebrate the Navy's birthday, all clumped into that 1 month celebration of Hispanic heritage. And so, yeah, there's a lot of party going on.
Indeed, it is, and it will. So we don't just party in the month; it just gets turned up to 10
Just a
during
little
the
bit.
month,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. But on a different serious note, for
Yeah.
all of us who just passed last week, we had Patriots Day on September 11th, with,
Right.
of course, the 20th anniversary, and a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of definitely, pain, hurt, suffering, anger, pride, A lot of different emotions came through for a lot of folks. But as you know, the hotline is there for suicide. There's folks that are out there to listen and talk to you. And here we are just reaching out. If you definitely, just not at the right place mentally, or just want to just grab a cup of coffee or just have a chat, you know, we'll connect you if you're not in our area. That's what we're here for. We're checking in. And
Well,
love
I
this.
got a story. I got a story for
Okay.
you, Vince.
All
Along
right.
those lines, yeah, along those lines.
Well, yeah, I'll pause for the cause and let's hear
Look,
this story.
so you just never know how impactful events are. So September 11th, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. I stood away from the news. I stood away from everything. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear about it. Not that I was negating in any way what happened. We know what happened. We went to war because of it, right? We were in theater because of
Right.
that. So we understand that. I just didn't want. I needed a not to get consumed because I have a personal story
Mm.
with September 11th, and it's so I was a career counselor at Pearl Harbor. This young man comes into my office, third class, second. I actually made second class E5, and was going to forecaster school, and then was going to get orders from there. So as a career counselor, we're the ones that guide them through the decision process. What's best for their career. We go through the whole thing, and I was meticulous, man. I was going through everything. What would be the best trajectory for you, and he was just equally as involved. And there was two spots: Camp David and
Mm.
the
All right.
Pentagon,
Okay.
both. Right. So he asked me, "Hey, Enrique, what do you think, man?" It's like, I said, "Man, it would be great to work for the commander in chief staff, man. I mean,
I Camp David.
it's over at Camp David, but it's just for them. It's just that group, right? It's just for that. Now, if you want to be there, that's good. You let me know, and we'll just apply for that. But I think you should go to the Pentagon,
Mm.
because at the Pentagon you get exposed to all the forces all at once. I
Yeah.
mean, all four, actually five, because the
Coast
National
Guard.
Guard is in there, right? The
Yeah.
National Guard,
True.
and so I said that is a huge platform if you want to make a name for yourself as a forecaster and all this other stuff. So he picked the Pentagon.
Okay.
He goes to the Pentagon. I go to the Iwo Jima
Mhm.
right after him. So I'm at the Iwo Jima. Sure enough, September 11th happens. When I saw the Pentagon that got hit, the very first name I thought of
What's
was
this?
Ed, and he did die.
Mm.
And so I wanted to, that's always weighed heavy on me, and obviously still does, right? I know that I didn't send him to. He had to make a choice, right? And
Right.
his sisters, which I still communicate with, um, they remind me of this all the time. You know,
Right.
it, you know, it wasn't you, man. But so I started to. I just said I need a break. Let me step out. So I was fine the whole day. The next day, all of that came on me, man. The
Mm.
next day was rough. Was rough, man. And I was just like, not understand. I got up early in the morning. I don't get up early in the morning, brother. I start my day at 10 o'clock. So it and I was up tossing, turning. My wife was like, "What's going on?" I was just like, I couldn't sleep. Yeah, yeah. It just you couldn't push it away. So
Mhm.
for folks, and just it happened to me, right? So for folks out there that are experiencing things that you just want to kind of push, sometimes it's just best to face it. Sometimes it's best to face it. Now you do what's best for you, right? I'm gonna caveat it with that. What was best for me is to have faced it, because the day after was terrible. It was terrible.
Mm.
So it happens, folks. It's just because we out here, laughing and doing all this, it doesn't mean that we don't have our thing. You just have to be able to come to a point where you develop a way of dealing with it in a positive way, right? Um,
Mm.
and you can get through. And but this is why we do these shows,
Right.
so that you listening can understand. Yeah, we're in front of the camera, but we still human. We still go through some stuff. Our ties, are you don't know how we're tied to any one event, right? And it was just one of those things. Gabe,
Well,
and my brother from Hawaii. Thank you, brother,
uh-oh.
for joining us, man. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for sharing, Enrique. And to Game's part, that is tough and rough, to hear that. But in going through that, but thank you for being vulnerable and sharing, courageous for sharing that. And that leads me to our, this quote that I thought was perfect for today. Is from Naeem Calway. It goes, sometimes the smallest steps in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take a step.
Which I mean goes right in line with the story, man.
Yeah,
I would have been better to tiptoe through the day, even if I heard this, that, and the other. And we got ties to New York, man. We were both raised in the Bronx. And my wife at the time was not my wife. She was working downtown.
yeah,
And so, there's a lot of impact, and around the world, everybody did get impacted by this, but tiptoe is the way,
yeah,
as long as you go forward.
yeah. One last thing I always remember because I have the statue on my desk,
Very
and this
nice.
this this I
Look at
keep, and
that.
I have a whole memorabilia of this significant, impactful, horrific event. But through these tragedies, sunlight and sunshine comes out, and we all banded together as Americans, and that was phenomenal. And so much came through the military, our brothers and sisters from different walks of life, never thought of joining, and they joined in. What did
Right.
Ricky say? I missed that one.
Yeah, yeah. She said focus on being grateful for what we have today and not in what we are missing.
Hmm.
And we surely do that. I definitely do that every day. It's just that there's points. It's just points. Like for instance, April 1st
Oh,
for a Navy chief, it's the Navy chief birthday.
right.
For the last 20 some odd years, I've been celebrating April 1st. And I still wear my academy ring, and it's just stuff like that that you're proud of because of your service. But my mom passed on April 1st. It's just like those things. Now, I'm not going to dwell so much on that, because I know it's part of life. I'm still going to be proud to be a chief. April 1st is always going to be my birthday. Um, but, it's just life, right? Life happens, man. And
Yeah,
you just have to learn how to still honor, uh, but take care of yourself to the point where it's not overtaking you. And like you said, baby steps, right? As
yeah,
long as it's always forward.
yeah. And it leads me one last one for today. This is from Buddha. He actually said, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your unguarded thoughts." Mm.
Mm, unguarded thoughts. Ooh, that's a podcast.
that's a
that
that's
that's
a series
yeah,
one,
that's
two, three.
yeah. Look, unguarded thoughts. Good lord. And we always talk about leadership during
Hmm.
the podcast. If there's anything that could really get you, is that.
Yeah.
And so, wow, Buddha, good on you. Good on you.
Yes. Yeah.
But
but
hey, look,
but
yeah,
folks,
I told you I had this coconut ice
he's
cream.
it's
I
melting.
look,
You better jump on it. But speaking of talking about reframing and doing looking at the grace part, as Ricky mentioned, I
Yeah.
just picked this up a couple of days ago. It's this magazine. It talks about compassion
Mm.
from the visions of the Dalai Lama. Always thinking of ways to improve compassion or having the heart of a compassionate individual and knowing more about the power and the science behind it. So I just picked it up at my local grocery store. So if folks interested, hey, that's just another thought of how to uh, sharpen your tools in your toolbox.
Man, compassion opens the door for healing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, anything, relationships, yourself, because you have to apply compassion to yourself. A lot of
Yeah,
people are real hard on themselves, and they'll give it, but they can't apply it.
right.
And compassion is one of those things that will just open the doors of healing like nothing else.
And since we're Hispanic Heritage Month, my grandma said the doors were open with comida, with food,
Mira, por poco se me sale un aleluya.
because we definitely, and a lot of our cultures, not only Hispanic, American or African American or Asian, all other cultures, we all festive around food. It's just
Mhm.
how interesting how that brings us together. And hey,
Yeah.
we would love to have a round table discussion on a radio check live.
No,
So
you
that's
you
a good
asking for
idea.
trouble, brother.
Trouble in paradise. But hey, we're bringing
Yeah,
the circle closer together and talk about compassion with food. Man, maybe that's a series right there too.
Hey, hey, compassion's not gonna heal that tummy after you done stuffed your face, but but it'll help something, right? It'll help you forgive yourself for eating so much. Cause I
Woo.
tell you what, well, don't put no plate in front of me.
Yep, yep. We
In
had
Puerto Rico, man, so growing up, and for those out there that in a Hispanic household,
quote
it's
quote.
never a we don't know dessert sized plates. There's we don't. My mom used to put these. I don't know why. Yeah, I must have been about 8 when I remember this. She like stuffed this plate and she like, "Cómetelo," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And so you learn to just and they feed you good. Like I tell you, Puerto Rico school. I don't know if you went to Puerto Rico school, but look, I went to senior year high school in Puerto Rico.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was tough. Going from Clinton, I was in Clinton for 3 years, got turned around and got sent back to Puerto Rico. But let me tell you, that food, boy,
You
woo,
still remember that.
woo, they cooked it up in them schools, boy. So hey, Ricky said food always brings everyone to the table.
Amen,
It's
Ricky.
whether it does, and that camaraderie, that sharing, it's always good to have some food. If you're gonna invite me over, please, you can have the food. I'm gonna appreciate it.
Hint, hint, Ricky. Us
When
over.
we go to California, Ricky, we're gonna do a show over there.
You got that right. You buy, we fly.
I tell you. So, but
But
yeah,
on the great, there's great things coming out about the radio check and our podcast, the Leadership Void, and speaking of great things, we're working on something spectacular for you guys, for our audience. So we hope you keep tuning into our Leadership Void every Wednesday, and hopefully next month you will see what we're talking about. We can't let it out the bag yet, but stay tuned because there's some great things coming our way. Woo! Yes. So,
that cat's ready to come out.
but here we are again. We do this at the 1st and the 15th. We're here in Central Florida. For those in the local area, those who know anyone, other businesses that we should go frequent and do our show there, like we did Mission Barbecue. We did Command K9 for
That
their
was around food.
fundraiser.
That was around food too. Both of
Those are on food, both of
both of
them. But yeah, we'll definitely like to do that and entertain that thought. But again, we're just here to check in. I'm glad, Ricky, you always been uh, a repeat guest in our show.
Supporter.
We're very grateful
Supporter.
for that. It always put a smile on my face when I hear your comments, and one day hopefully we'll get to meet in person. But hey, this is good for today. I'm glad we have this connection. I'm glad you joined us. Again, baby steps, tiptoe if you have to, but go forward, as Enrique mentioned earlier.
All right, folks. So thank you for joining us tonight. We opened the airways just to let you be able to communicate with us. If you want to DM us either personally or send us an email at the leadership void at gmail.com. Go ahead and shoot us whatever you have, things you want to see. Hey, if you want this radio check to morph into something different, let us know. But the
Mm-hmm.
whole purpose is to open up the windows, open up the doors for someone that may be listening that, hey, found themselves like I did on the
Mm-hmm.
weekend, that can say, well, yeah, man, that's I'm going through something, and I need some help. But we're willing to look at anything that you want to send our way, and just kind of look that over. But until the first.
That's right. October
Okay.
1st is our next show.
Y para todos los hispanos, mira, no fiesten tanto. Son 30 días, bro. Son 30
Cógelo con
días.
take it
Cójalo
easy.
suave. Cójalo suave. God bless you all. See you
Have
guys
a
on
good
the
night,
first.
everyone. Happy Hispanic Heritage.